Banks that are too big to fail are too big for bias. National banks like Bank of America receive a host of benefits from American taxpayers to serve the public. If Bank of America can't restrain itself from ideological decision-making, it's time for public officials to hold it accountable. Is a church near you at risk of having its bank accounts canceled? Based on the experience of Memphis-based Servants of Christ, the answer is yes. Like most churches, Servants of Christ financially supports overseas efforts to spread the Christian faith and provide food, clothing, shelter, and other essential needs to impoverished and vulnerable populations. One ministry the church supports is Indigenous Advance Ministries, which partners with on-the-ground groups in Uganda to care for orphaned and at-risk children. Yet, as inspiring as Indigenous Advance's mission may be, in 2023, Bank of America abruptly canceled its bank account and credit cards. Along with canceling Indigenous Advance's accounts, Bank of America sent identical cancellation notices to a Memphis church, Servants of Christ, and a separate for-profit business, Indigenous Advance Customer Center. All three entities had just 30 days to find and switch to a new bank, and they were given no concrete reason why. The suddenness of the bank's decision created a logistical nightmare for Indigenous Advance, which had to tell its 9 Ugandan employees to wait an extra week to receive a paycheck they depend upon for survival. Like many of their countrymen, these Ugandans don't live paycheck to paycheck. They live meal to meal. Waiting an extra week for a paycheck in Uganda can be the difference between eating and going hungry. So why was Bank of America canceling these accounts? The initial notice provided no specific reason. The letter only stated that, quote, upon review of your accounts, we have determined you're operating in a business type we have chosen not to service at Bank of America. A later letter to Indigenous Advance said that the ministry, quote, no longer aligns with the bank's risk tolerance. Keep in mind, Indigenous Advance does not advocate for any political cause and has maintained the same mission since its first opened account with Bank of America in 2015. A representative of Servant of Christ and Indigenous Advance repeatedly asked Bank of America employees for a specific reason their accounts had been closed. He was given the cold shoulder. All the employee would do is read from the previously sent notices. Months later, a reporter from the UK's Daily Mail reached out to Bank of America for comment. Searching for a credible explanation, the bank concocted flimsy excuses that wilt under the lightest scrutiny. As a part of this wagon-circling exercise, Bank of America also ignored its own promise that the confidentiality of customers' personal and financial information is, quote, its highest priority. Rather than hearing from Bank of America, Indigenous Advance and Servants of Christ first heard these supposed reasons when the Daily Mail piece went live. If customer confidentiality is about building customer confidence and trust, Bank of America falls well below the line. No American should have to worry that their bank account could be closed or payment denied because of their religious views. Yet, it's difficult to escape the conclusion that Indigenous Advance and Servants of Christ are prime examples of a worldwide debanking trend that has already targeted political leaders in and out of the U.S., well-known religious leaders, and more. Described by one former J.P. Morgan Chase executive as red dotting, an account holder is first deemed a risk for their views. When the time is right, the bank cancels the account with scant explanation. Stonewalling follows, and it's only when the bank sees a public relations issue that the bank reverse engineers reasons for the decision it made months before. This is how debanking works. Thankfully, Indigenous Advance has decided to stand up to this bullying. With the help of Alliance Defending Freedom, the ministry filed a complaint with Tennessee's Attorney General asking the state to investigate whether Bank of America illegally discriminated against it because of its religious views. Banks that are too big to fail are too big for bias. National banks like Bank of America receive a host of benefits from American taxpayers to serve the public. If Bank of America can't restrain itself from ideological decision-making, it's time for public officials to hold it accountable. After all, as we've seen with the orphans and widows Indigenous Advance serves in Uganda, these black box banking decisions have real-world consequences. To find out more about what Alliance Defending Freedom is doing to protect your fundamental freedoms, visit adflegal.org. And before you go, click like on this video and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode.